Print type. We're going to look at the vocabulary of typography, make text readable, and cleaning up our typeset text. We want to be able to distinguish between typefaces and fonts, describe the parts that make up a typeface, understand how typeface size and style affect readability, adjust leading and tracking for readability, recognize how measure and alignment impact our readability, use common and simple techniques to grab attention with typography, and make documents clean and professional by using a few typesetting conventions. Typeface refers to a set of letters, numbers, and other characters created by a typeface designer. A font refers to a collection of characters with the same style within a typeface. Example is Times New Roman Bold, Times New Roman Italic, and Times New Roman Regular are all fonts within the Times New Roman typeface style. You have serif, sans serifs are your two types of typefaces. You also will hear the words descender, nascender, baseline, x-height, and points. The primary concern for designers working with text is usually readability. Readability means that you can easily recognize the letters and words and follow the text along without losing your place. The text helps visually set the tone for the message, and you can make text readable by selecting the appropriate typeface for the subject matter, using the right type size and style for your project, adjusting your spacing if necessary, and considering the overall size and alignment of the text blocks. Choosing a typeface that fits the tone of the project is one way to help the text deliver its message to the reader. Choosing the right type size is important to readability, especially in an extended block of text. The best point size for a particular project depends on the typeface, the page size, and the layout, and the intended audience. In a block of text, most typefaces are readable for most people at 10 to 12 points. Point size refers only to the height of the typeface rather than its width, so two typefaces with the same point size can be visually different sizes. The best type style to use for emphasis is italic or bold. These two type styles are the least disruptive for the reader and therefore the most readable. Avoid underlines, all caps, and combinations of type styles like bold and italic, for example. Be careful not to overuse type styles for emphasis. Extended use of italics, bold, all caps, reverse type, or any other special effects such as embossing, engraving, outlining, or shadowing can reduce the readability. The space between the lines of text in a text block is called the leading, and it's measured from the baseline of one line of text to the baseline of the next. Like type styles, leading is expressed in points. Readability is reduced if the leading is too tight or too loose. Tracking, sometimes called letter spacing, refers to the amount of space between characters in a word or lines of text. Kerning refers to adjusting the space between just two characters to improve the appearance of a word. Kerning can give a more finished look to words, but it does not necessarily improve readability. Most modern digital typefaces automatically adjust kerning when certain letter pairs fall next to one another. In normal typesetting, you should not have to use kerning frequently. Most used for words in larger type sizes and banners on posters, ads, and headings. The width and alignment of a paragraph can affect the readability of body text. The length of a line of text is called the measure. Alignment refers to how a line of text or paragraph is positioned in a column, either flush left, flush right, centered, or justified. The purpose of display typography is capturing and directing a reader's attention. This type of typography becomes a part of the overall design scheme and can support good proportion, balance, variety, emphasis, harmony, symmetry, unity, and repetition. Advertisements, magazine layouts, and book covers especially rely on display typography to reinforce a design scheme. A display typeface is a stylized typeface usually set at a larger point size than body text. It draws attention and sends a message about the document content. Common typographical treatments used for display typography include drop caps, pull quotes, and color. A widow in typesetting is when the last line of a paragraph falls by itself as the first line of the next page or column. An orphan is when the first line of a paragraph falls by itself at the bottom of a page or column, or when a single word or part of a word falls by itself on the last line of a paragraph. Fine-tuning hyphenation can improve the look of typeset text. When a word breaks at the end of a line, be sure at least two characters remain before the hyphen or the first line and at least three characters carry forward to the next line. Try to avoid hyphenating web addresses and proper nouns like names. Avoid more than 3 hyphenated lines in a row. Don't confuse hyphens with an en and em dash. An en dash looks like a hyphen, but it's slightly longer, normally the width of a capital letter N, most commonly used to indicate a range of dates, numbers, or times in a compound adjective. An em dash is twice as long as the en, and it's usually the width of the capital letter M. It's frequently used to separate a parenthetical thought, much like a parenthesis. Curly quotes, sometimes called smart quotes, are rounded marks used for quotations and apostrophes. Straight quotation marks should be used only to indicate the measure in inches or feet. Summary: a typeface is a collection of designed characters, while a font refers to a subset of characters with the same style within a typeface. One of the most important goals of working with text is making it readable. Selecting a suitable typeface, size, and style impacts readability. Adjusting the leading, tracking, measure, and alignment can make text more or less readable. Typography plays an important role in capturing the reader's interest and directing their attention. You want to remove windows and orphans and use appropriate punctuation marks, as that can make your document appear more professional. If you have any questions about print type, just let me know.